The way a risk assessment works is we would begin with scheduling. We would want to get you on our schedule, and then we would get to know you a little bit. Like I mentioned before, we really want to find out, what does the business do? I've used the example before of, are you a pencil factory? Are you a public safety entity? Are you a hospital? All of those face very different risks. And so the first thing we need to do is find out a little bit about your sector. The next thing we would want to find out is about your governance model. How are you governing cybersecurity in the organization? We would then move on to an on-site assessment where we would look at a variety of different systems, a variety of different risks. Before that, we're going to research what types of threats your industry faces, what types of threats your systems face, and we're going to ask you questions pertaining to those risks. Usually with a risk assessment, we want to use a framework. Now, what does that mean? There's a couple different types of frameworks. One is ISO 27001. ISO is International Standards Organization. This is the most international of the standards. More US-based, but not exclusively US-based. This is catching a lot of, this is catching on quite a bit in the rest of the world, is the NIST standards, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They have an 800 series of standards that are very popular. One is 853. The other one is NIST CSF. That stands for the Cybersecurity Framework. The reason why we want to use a framework when we're doing a risk assessment is because some risks are from the outside. It's from the risk of compromise, the risk of CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability being compromised. But there's another risk, and that is the risk of not complying. The risk of not complying can be huge. So we want to evaluate you on both types of risks in your organization.